Finer points of cutting dovetails on a table saw. Let's take a look.
There's no doubt about it. It takes a lot of skill and practice to cut dovetails by hand. Sure, you could cut them with a router and a jig, but they wouldn't have that hallmark hand-cut look. Wide tails, narrow pins. So to make machine-cut dovetails with a hand-sawn look, furniture maker Greg Paolini turns to the table saw. For this technique, you can use the miter gauge that came with your saw. You also need two fences, one for the tails and one for the pins. The fence has a tall back that supports the workpiece during the cut. The low, short base, well, a kerf gets cut into that, and you can align the layout lines on your workpiece with the kerf and end up with perfectly placed and accurate cuts. For the blade, I'm using a rip blade. It's got a flat bottom cut. And that means that on the pins, there won't be any paring to do. However, on the tails, there will be a little bit. Let's get started there. Start by scribing your shoulder lines on all your workpieces. Be sure to wrap this scribe line around the edges of your tail boards. Next, use a bevel gauge to lay out your joinery symmetrically around the board's center line. With your bevel gauge still set to the angle used for layout, set the angle of your table saw blade. Be sure the bevel gauge is touching the saw plate and not the carbide teeth. After cutting a kerf, align the board for the first tail cut. Clamp your stop block in place and use this cut to adjust the blade's height to the baseline. Next, flip the board side for side and make the second cut. Rotate end for end and repeat the process on the opposite end of the board before moving on to the second tail board. Now, you can reposition the stop block for the next cut. Rinse and repeat. Now, I just nibble off the waste here at the edges. There's just a little bit of waste to clean up in those sockets. It's pretty quick work with a chisel and a mallet. If you want to avoid this paring, you can buy a table saw blade that's specially ground to match the slope of your dovetails. It gets right up in the corners and really leaves nothing left to do. Now mark your tail board as you would normally. But remember to wrap your lines onto the face grain. You won't be able to see the marks on the end grain when you're cutting the joinery at the table saw. Now remember, because we're using stop blocks on our fences, we only have to mark one end of one pin board. Let's head back to the table saw and start cutting our pins. Use your bevel gauge to set the angle of the miter gauge. The bevel gauge is still set to the same angle used to lay out the tails and to angle the blade to cut them. Notice that I've also switched to my second fence. That's because you don't want the kerf used to cut the tails to interfere with the kerf used for cutting the pins. Now let's kerf this fence and get cutting pins. Now line up for the first cut and make sure you're cutting just shy of the pencil line. Clamp a stop block in place and make your first cut. Rotate the board 180 degrees and make the same cut on the other end of the board. Repeat this process for your opposite drawer side. Now reset your stop block for the next cut and continue on down the line. You'll notice that I didn't flip the board face for face as I was making these cuts. Don't want to do that. Make all the cuts in one direction first, and then change your miter gauge to the opposite angle and make the rest of them. After resetting the miter gauge, it's just a matter of repeating the process. I make my kerf cut, I line up my workpiece, clamp on a stop block, and make the remaining cuts. You can get rid of most of this waste with the fence set in this position. A little bit that can't, just swing it back to the opposite angle and take care of it that way. All right, that's a nice looking joint. You know what? You can use the same technique to make half-blind dovetails for your drawer fronts. All you got to do, which is just what Greg Paolini does, is glue on a little veneer on the front.